Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah.
Bring the prisoners.
They were good boys who loved God. They obeyed God's laws. They worshiped God and prayed. They were also careful to obey all of God's rules about which foods they could eat and what foods they could not eat. But now they were prisoners. They had to leave their parents and go live far away in the city of Babylon. The king wanted them to study, so they had scrolls. They didn't have books like we do. While these boys were living in Babylon, King Nebuchadnezzar decided to choose all of the smartest and healthiest young prisoners to be his special helpers. Daniel and his 3 friends were chosen. The king wanted the prisoners to learn to like Babylon and to help the king. They were taken to the palace and taught all the laws of Babylon, and their names were changed to Babylonian names: Belteshazzar, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They learned science and math and all about the stars. While the boys were learning, the king put an official in charge of them. He told the official to give the young men the best food in Babylon. There was one big problem. Daniel and his friends knew that the king's food was not the food that God did not allow. The food was probably even used in the worship of idols. If they ate the food, they would be disobeying God's law.
You will eat my food in the palace.
Daniel and his friend and the king's officials knew that they would not eat the king's food.
Oh,
The official liked Daniel and his friends. He noticed that they were good boys and always tried their best. He did not want to make them eat the king's food, and he was afraid that the king would get mad at him. But Daniel had a good idea. He told the official to perform a test. Daniel and his friends would only eat vegetables and drink water for 10 days. At the end of the 10 days, the official could judge to see if they were healthy as all the other young men in the palace. Daniel and the other 3 boys only ate healthy vegetables and drank only water for 10 days. And at the end of 10 days, the official noticed that these 4 young boys were healthier than all the rest of the young men at the palace. From then on, he allowed them to eat the food that God allowed. They did not have to eat the king's food. At the end of the study time, all the young men were brought before the king so that he could test them with questions. The king decided that Daniel and his friends were the best of all the young men in the palace. They were wise and intelligent, and they were 10 times better than all the magicians and the wise men in the entire kingdom. Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego became wise men in the king's court. They always loved God and tried to obey his laws. Even though they were prisoners, God blessed them and took care of them. And that's our story of Daniel and good choices. We're always going to try to make good choices, eat healthy, just like God wants us to. It's hard, but that's his plan for us. To be good and strong.
And get the Bluey theme song.
Any questions?
eating healthy, drinking water.
Studying, reading. Yes. Yes. Daniel.
The white. That's Daniel.
They got my boy a change.
Yes?
King Nebuchadnezzar.
Nebuchadnezzar. He's the king of Babylonia.
Oh, of course. So,
Yes. The king wasn't evil, he was just powerful, and he wanted more power. And he wanted the smartest people in his kingdom. Yes,
Why is Daniel chained up?
because he's like the leader and,
I thought he was like Nebuchadnezzar's right hand on.
the what?
I thought he was like Nebuchadnezzar's right hand on.
At the end, at the end. Not in the beginning, at the end. They were the wise men.
Alright.
I
Anything
thought there was
else?
a trash can in here.
What did we learn? What did we learn? Yes, question? It was the helper. She was the dining hall helper. So we learned about choices, right? Okay. Yeah, be healthy, strong, be healthy, breathe, eat the right food, obey God's law. Let's give King Nebuchadnezzar, Daniel, his friend, and the guard, and the helper a big round of applause. All right.